Hey, Lynn and Joseph are back with the next installment to our video series, Our Hallelujah Life. So, in the 17 years that we have been helping people buy and sell real estate and that we have lived in Charleston, we've learned a lot, and we like to talk about that with you guys because we talk about what we know. And part of what we love about Charleston is there are a ton of communities that you can get involved with and things you can do when you're not in the house you've purchased, right? And so the first part of this series is really focused on that boating community. And last week we talked about a couple of the things you want to consider if you're buying a house or possibly putting your house up for sale. That boating community, where is it located to where you're going to be, right? So Joseph, tell them a little bit about what we're going to unpack today, and we'll just keep chatting.
Yeah, so the first part we're going to talk about is if you are a boater who has a trailerable boat. We're going to do trailerable boats this week. On the next one, we're going to do boats that you keep at a marina, and then also the final one will be boats that you keep in front of your house in the water. So the trailer boat. So the first one is going to be, okay, if you're going to trailer your boat and you don't have a way to launch your boat or store your boat in your neighborhood, then you want to take that into consideration. Now, the good news about that is that actually gives you the most amount of variety as far as where you would be looking, because you're not really limited on boat storage and boat ramps. Right. Now, what it does do is you do have to take some things into consideration as you are searching for your homes. So if you just do a quick Google search, and this is not going to be all of the boat landings in the Charleston area, but if you do a quick Google search, you'll actually see that they are spread out. You do have a decent variety as it relates to the boat landings and their locations. The challenge of that is we don't have the amount of boat landings in the Tri-County area that we need to have as it relates to the number of registered boaters in the area, but that's a different discussion altogether. So just some things you want to consider that is obviously location from your home, and then location based on where you want to boat. You'll also then want to make sure, if you do decide to go this route, that you want to see what kind of storage facilities are near your neighborhood in order to keep your boat there. Also, something you want to take into consideration is how far do you want to be traveling to get your boat, bring it back to the house, that sort of thing. One big thing that we have done a lot of research on, I'm going to kick it back over to Lynn, is on those boat landings is making sure you're checking out the amenities there. So what are some of the important things that you look for as the official boat backer-upper? What do you look for when we're looking at boat landings and something that we should take into consideration?
Yeah, so we have learned to be a team in a lot of areas in our lives, and that also includes the boat. And so I put the boat in the water and I pull it out. And so I always get Joseph and we drive around and we go take a look at those ramps that we're going to use prior to possibly with the boat on the car, because are there 2 or 3 boats going down at the same time? That can be kind of nerve-wracking. And once I know that, I know what I'm dealing with. There may be limitation in parking. Once you get to the boat ramp, if it's a busy day, sometimes you can put your boat in the water and there's nowhere to park. So you might want to go take a look at that before you have the boat on the car. Also, the tidal part, is it a fast tide? Is it related to the tidal chart, or is it deep water all day? Those are the things we have to consider. And I get Joseph to let me go around and take a look so I can kind of get my eyes on it, get more familiar with it before we actually get the boat on the car. Then you have to think, where am I going with this? Are you driving on the interstate or are you taking back roads? Your comfortability with all that is key. And that can be part of the conversation you have with your real estate agent when you're researching the proximity of all that.
Yeah, 100%. And then the next step in this would be to have your boat stored and or launched in your neighborhood. And that's obviously would be much more convenient. It does then limit the number of homes maybe that you would have as the option. And so what I did is I did a quick search here that I'm going to pull back up on the map on the MLS. And this is basically just an MLS search, and these are all homes that are currently on the market that have the amenity of boat storage. Now, this will come in 2 different ways. Number one, you could have a boat storage facility in your neighborhood, which would be super convenient because it's not necessarily in your yard. The other one would be to store your boat in your yard or in your driveway behind the fence, whatever your HOA allows if you are in a neighborhood. The part about the boat storage yard is super convenient. The first neighborhood that we lived in, we did have boat storage there. Some things that you want to take into consideration is the size of the boat, whether or not there's availability for that. And then typically most of the neighborhoods right now that do have boat storage do have a wait list. So you want to see, okay, how long is that wait list? And if you are going to go into that neighborhood, you need to find an alternative until that wait list comes free. The next step in that would be neighborhoods that do have boat landings in them, or some, on a rare occasion, you'll have actually a lot that would have a boat landing on it. But for the most part, you're looking at homes with neighborhoods with boat landings. If you did the same search but with boat landings, you get fewer homes that are on the market right now that actually have boat landings as an available amenity for them. And that comes in two ways too. One would be right in the neighborhood, or some communities like the Isle of Palms, Sullivan's Island, they would have a semi-private or private boat landing for you there. Again, not as many options. You typically go up on the price point from that standpoint, but still a really super convenient thing that you want to take into consideration.
And that's what we did. This last home that we bought, we knew we wanted to be near water, but we decided to say, let's keep our price point a little more conservative, which means you might compromise on whether or not there's a boat ramp in the neighborhood.
Yep.
And that's the good news, is we're still on the water and having a blast. We're just now learning the new ramps around us. So again, your agent's going to have a great buyer consultation with you, hopefully. And those are the things you'll talk about. What are your compromises? What are non-negotiables? So all that's manageable. You can find it all in Charleston.
So lastly, the thing that we'll talk about, really just touch on a little deeper, is the HOA situation. So the house, as Lynn mentioned, where we moved now, we moved into a neighborhood that doesn't have storage or a boat landing, yet we do have the convenience to be able to go anywhere. One of the things that we do have to take into consideration is when we bring the boat to the house, either to wash it down, work on it, or load it up, we just need to know what your HOA restrictions are. And that's something to cover in there. They're not always as bad as people make them out to be, but it is something that you want to take into consideration. So if you have any more questions about this, if you want a list of the boat landings in the area, if you're just looking for homes and see a list of homes that either have boat storage or a boat ramp that's available to them, please don't hesitate to reach out. We'd be glad to send you that information.
Yeah, there's our information. So you can email us, text us, call us, and then don't forget to subscribe and follow the YouTube to this awesome series that we're doing. And stay tuned, because once we get through the boating part, we're going to touch on all the other things, and we look forward to hopefully hearing from you. So y'all have a good day.
Have a good one.